Like his compelling photographic art, dedication has gone into making Gavin Goodman a man you want to meet. Behind this winner of last year's Hasselblad Master Photographic Award is a husband, new father, lifelong surfer, dog lover, and a man who wants to tell a story in every image.
So my name's Gavin Goodman. I'm based in Cape Town, South Africa, and I'm a photographer. So some of my work is directly inspired by the beautiful sort of multicultural environment that I've grown up in, and the nature and the connection to nature that I have in my lifestyle. And others is just from being exposed to arts and culture and things that I've seen from all around the world, and taking bits and pieces of that and kind of putting my own spin and point of view on it. As a photographer, what I really enjoy is the fact that I'm in control of the aesthetic, the lighting, the composition, as well as directing the talent. And I love having both those roles.
Only once this film cinematographer began to dabble in stills did his artistic vision click.
Today we're shooting my latest series with Nondi, the model, who is amazing. It's the first time I'm working with her. I have an amazing team today, and we've created a few custom props, and it's all about symmetry, creating graphic compositions and color blocking.
Stylist Gavin Collins knows that although there's one man in charge, the Goodman approach is collaborative.
It's been really positive. It's always refreshing to work with a photographer who's open-minded and open to collaboration. So when he approached me, the idea for the shoot was still very undefined. So he was very happy to take my ideas on and kind of create this shoot idea together. You never really know how a shoot is going to turn out. So having strong elements in terms of the styling, the props, having amazing lighting, which Gavin is really good at, kind of creates this creative vortex, which is really fulfilling to see at the end of the day.
Over the years, I've realized, for me, less is more. I don't like to overcomplicate things too much. I love shooting in studio where I have full control of the lighting. I can craft it, take my time, and create that look that really resonates with me. And I love creating images that are African inspired, but have got like a very bold, modern, simplistic aesthetic to them. My hope is that people respond to these images purely because of the simplicity in the approach. So I would say my style has a bit of a quirky vibe to it, very much influenced by specific color palettes. I love the complementary pastel colors. I don't like things that are too shocking and in your face and harsh. I like it to create a feeling of almost like a cinematic kind of approach to things. And that's one of the things that I think is really exciting and fun about doing what I do, is that you can never exactly master it. So you constantly, as your point of view and your taste and style is kind of shifting and changing, it's directly translated to the work. And that's why it's also important to kind of keep creating.
But interestingly enough, it was when the artist committed to regular time off from creating that perspective and serious recognition came his way.
I've recently picked up this award, which is a very prestigious photographic award called the Hasselblad Masters. I entered in 3 images in the art category from 3 different shoots. And when I got nominated as one of the top 10 finalists, that to me was as exciting as winning. And then when I found out that I'd actually won the art category, it was really surreal, very exciting, and it's quite a motivating kind of thing to happen, and just a pat on the back to get acknowledgement from people that are really well regarded in what they do, just to remind me to keep going.
Which he did. As well as getting married in lockdown, Gavin decided it was time to act on a business idea he had had for years.
So I started this agency called Semblance Agency, where we specialize in photographic art for the hospitality market. And when I was doing my networking and starting out with the agency, I came across a few people that they mentioned that the Rockefeller's at a stage where they're looking for art. So I just sort of contacted one of the developers, and he showed my work to the clients and the interior design agency, and they really liked it, and they saw aesthetically a fit for the style of the hotel that they were designing. And that's how it started.
Creative director at the interior architecture firm who conceived these spaces, Madre Mea had a distinct set of elements needed to bring each look together.
So the look here was driven by something a little bit more artistic than we typically see of inner city hotels, but really very much driven by this being a very grungy inner city location that's really exciting for Cape Town. It's something we don't typically see in this city. What drew us to Gavin's photography for this project, we were looking for a strong African, urban, youthful look, and his photography really answered all of that for us as well. It's strong in color, very clean in composition, and presents African youth as something very progressive.
After Gavin's 18 years of dedication to his art, is there one key thread running through it?
So the overarching theme and message for my work is, for me, it's more evoking a feeling than saying anything very specific. I like to keep a lot of my work a little more subjective in the layers of meanings and things that people see. And I kind of do that through a very considered color palette, which subconsciously evokes a certain response when people see it, combining that with a really big, beautiful lighting setup. And I also like to kind of hide faces for some strange reason. For me, it adds a quirky element to the subject matter that I'm shooting, and it also creates this almost otherworldly, almost surreal approach to creating art, which is something that I just connect with. I've got a quirky vibe deep in my blood. The best advice I could give creatives is just to keep creating. It sounds simple, but there are a lot of times when you're not very motivated, and if you just push through, keep creating, you start to hone and develop your point of view even further, and keep creating.
The latest equipment, lenses or apps don't make the artist. Staying the course does. Get more of the Insider Essay online. Follow, connect, engage, and be inspired to live better with the Insider Essay. Watch the show Monday evenings at 6. Repeat Saturday at 1 on S3.